So just recently, Method Man was he went on a record talking about the East Coast West Coast beef.
Shout out to Takao.
Absolutely. One of his positions, if I'm not mistaken, was that the East Coast West Coast thing wasn't a real rivalry. It was really just between two dudes in that Vibe magazine. You know, through their covers and et cetera, like they turned it into a whole coast versus a whole coast. But you had some pretty strong opinions.
I agree and I disagree with that because I don't think Vibe magazine started it. I think that it started from wherever it started. Mm-hmm. Then once it hold on, Peter. It started wherever it started. Then once it got out, they just enhanced it the same way they do everything. It starts in the studio. Or it starts with two artists having a confrontation or saying something disrespectful or something that the other artist feel crossed the line. Once it goes to the radio or once it goes on the internet, then the magazines get involved, then stations get involved, then the world get involved, then it gets bigger. You know what I mean? And then it's unstoppable once it gets big. But so I wouldn't say Vibe magazine started it, but they helped instigate it once it was already, you know what I mean? Once it was going, yeah. And then as far as East Coast, West Coast, Pac is from Cali, Big is from Brooklyn. So, you know what I mean? They was the forefront of hip hop at the time when that happened. So it is gonna become, you know what I mean? It's gonna become, it became by coastal, it came by force. You know what I mean? Nobody didn't make it. They didn't start saying East Coast, West Coast. It just, they got behind him and he got behind him. So, you know what I mean? You can't blame it on things because it didn't start. Vibe magazine, before any songs came out or before anything ever happened, it ain't like Vibe magazine put a cover and said East, right? The cover came during the turmoil, during the mix of it. Right. So it ain't fair to put it on. I mean, my opinion is it isn't fair to blame the magazine. And
you've experienced that.
Yeah, they do it it happened with me and 50, with me and Siegel, with Hov and Nas, with Ja and 50, with everything. Once it leaves out the studio, it's out of your control. With magazines, is gonna make a cover out of it. What news person is gonna talk about it? You know what I mean? What sites are gonna put it up and go hard on it? Once you put it out there, you create the platform for it to become magazine covers and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's always gonna happen. Yeah, cause they're really not beefs. You know what I mean? It's sad that we had to lose B.I. and Pac over them things, because the world made it much bigger than it was. They used to sleep on each other's couches and chill with each other for hours and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and all that kind of stuff that the world don't know, because they ain't make magazine covers of that. They put the negative stuff, and that's what sells, and that's what the people gravitate to. So I was fortunate to squash all of mine because it was just music. It wasn't nothing real. Real, if you come from the hood, if you know what real beef is, people get hurt, but you able to confrontate who you really have a beef with, opposed to making it a song and putting it out there. That right there shows that it's not really beef. If you really have beef with somebody and you make a song that goes to the world saying what you want to do to somebody, that's all frivolous. That's all a facade. That's just entertainment. Like wrestling, like movies, when somebody gets shot, like stuff that happens and they get up and say cut, you know what I mean? So sometimes it gets taken out of content by the individual. Most times it's by the social media, the public, the radio, the magazines, publications, what have you. And that's always gonna happen though.